Alright guys, Scrap It's back with another video on what's in this thing and what is it worth. So, as you can see, this is just a little, mobile stereo, a little portable stereo kind of thing. CD player, tape deck on it. Does not work. Already took the drop cord off of there, so we'll get to this thing. So, what do we get for this thing? So if you have a yard that'll take this as scrap steel, as shred steel, good for you. Mine won't. They say it's too much plastic. 6 pounds, 2 ounces. So we're talking 35-40 cents for this thing as shred steel. So I'm going to shut this thing off. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to pull everything out of it. And when I come back, I'll show you what you can kind of expect in there. And if you took one of these things apart, what you'd get out of it. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so that took me 3 minutes to get that thing apart. Actually, I did go grab a really long Phillips, also probably would have taken me about 2 minutes to get it apart. So what do you end up with so far? So we have a big old ugly circuit board. There's a nice piece of copper here I'll have to check out. Another little circuit board on there. But this is just a low-grade circuit board, so I'll populate what I want to off of this thing. Another little low-grade circuit board, another low-grade circuit board, little transformer. Here's the tape deck mechanism. It's got a little motor in there, a little bit of wire on there. This is the CD mechanism here. It's got the 2 motors on there, and I do like to take apart the eye and get the neodymium magnets out of there. If you've never taken one of those apart, I'll kind of, as I'm taking stuff apart, I'll show you where it is in this thing. So, alright, so I'm going to keep chopping through this thing, and I'll come back and we'll take a look at it and see what you guys think, if it's worth it or not. Alright. Of course, the heater's got to come on right when we start it up, but oh well. Okay, so here's the eye. This is the eye. It sits inside this, runs along this thing. I don't always pull them apart. Sometimes I do. You can check the little bars are sometimes brass. This one happens to be just regular steel, so it just goes in with my steel pile there. So in this thing here, and usually the easiest way to do it is a little tiny blade screwdriver, and you can touch, and there's neodymium magnets, little small ones in here, and they're kind of, I don't know if you like magnets or if you have uses for them, they can be kind of fun and interesting to have around. Sometimes you can just pinch them with a needle nose plier too, and they pop out. Well, that one didn't do it. Of course not. And sometimes they break when you're trying to get them out, because they're kind of dealing in some small areas here. And then, if I can get to it without breaking this one. God dang it. It's like they're glued down. I've never seen this hard to get off before. Well, you're going to have to take my word for it. You find them with the eye readers, and they do come off. These are being really stubborn for some reason. I don't know what it is. But then if you look really closely, can't believe I'm spending this much time on this. So here's where the magnet sits, that side where the magnet sits, and here's some little pieces of number 2 copper. If you wanted to go after this, go for it. Otherwise, you can just, if you even take the thing apart, you can take the eye and just throw it into your circuit boards, and you should get at least a medium grade board, if not better, for it. So I'm going to keep getting the rest of this fixed up, and I'm back in a minute. So after me trying to show you how to get magnets out of those things, didn't work out so well. So first thing let's address is, most radios like that are going to have an antenna. Take your file. You can tell it's brass by the color of it. So Got a 1/2 ounce of brass out of the antenna. Very much worth keeping. Ended up with 3 small electric motors, 4 ounces electric motors, so I'll get about 8 cents for those, or 6 cents, 8 cents, something like that for those things. There's our chunk of drop cord that we got after that at 50 cents a pound. So that's about just about 4 ounces. So I don't know, what's that, 12.5 cents, something like that for that thing. Just a little bit of shred steel, the 2 speakers, and then the cassette tape part and the CD part there. So we have just about 3/4 of a pound of shred steel. We've got almost a pound, or about 3/4 pound of circuit board, low grade circuit board, and then just a small pile of miscellaneous wire in there, and a very, very, very small amount of miscellaneous little copper bits and pieces. And lastly, the transformer at 20 cents a pound, 3/4 a pound on that thing. So all in all, somewhere in the buck and a half range to scrap it out. If I didn't stop and I didn't mess around with that little eye of the CD thing, I think it'd take me 4 or 5 minutes to scrap it out. Is it worth it? Probably. I like doing it, but you decide. And if you run into one, now you know what to expect. Thanks for watching.